Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is June 6th, 2018, and today is Wednesday morning. So looking at the economic events of the day, starting out of Australia, early this morning at 3:30 South African time, we had quarterly GDP results came out. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. And then at 2:30 later today, out of Canada, trade balance, and then much later today, 4:30 South African time, we have weekly oil inventories numbers. We'll take a look at the how oil has been trading, and it's been trading quite nicely over the last couple of days. So let's take a look at what's been happening at the market. So as we've mentioned, summer trading has already started, I guess. We're really in a tight range here. I mean, we really haven't moved that much. If we look at a 1 hour chart starting from Monday, we really haven't moved much more than 60 pips over the last couple of days. So not much really going on. Okay, so really choppy kind of market. We capitulated at our bottom at 115.23 and then bounced to 117.41, which is a decent move upwards 160 pips. But then over the last couple of days, we've just been trading within a very tight range of 60 pips. So, ultimately, you got to look at the shorter time frames that we are trading in because that's what's been relevant. Okay, on the top side, 1732, as you can see, at the bottom side, 1665. So like I said, we're right now at the top of that range. If we do break out on this top of the range, maybe we could see, continued strength on the upside. Let's take a look at a longer chart. But ultimately, as the week progresses, I'd like to see some sort of, bounce at some point. Okay, we didn't get that from the GBP. If we look at the GBP right now, it didn't continue our forward momentum. Okay, it continued a little bit, but nothing really to write home about, okay, from 132. But look at how good this support levels are. Okay, this is why I like to trade them, because they're really honest. Okay, we broke over this support level, we then became resistance. This support level was sustained. Okay, and now we're bouncing off of it just slightly. Okay, so our next real resistance level is 136. Okay, so ultimately speaking, you might have a minor support level, a 134.50-ish level right about here. Okay, because that was a support level before we broke it. But ultimately, on the upper side, 136 is really the next resistance level, and we're almost smack in the middle of that. So as the week progresses, you got to look for an upward momentum. Looking at the Swiss franc, we finally broke this trend line. Okay, so things are changing here. All right, also in the daily chart and the 4-hour chart, as you can see here, as we've come in a little bit. Now, I don't want to say that we're now reversing and we're going to come back to the 96 or 95 level, but this is definitely, a red flag of letting us know that this has changed its momentum. Okay, we may find ourselves trading in a new range between 98 and 101, but that's that remains to be seen. So you've got to let it trade a little bit for it to solidify some sort of levels, some sort of range until we jump in there. Okay, you might want to jump in a little bit here just as a a tester to see if it's going to hold this line and maybe bounce off of it and then start trading within this new range as this continues. Now, we spoke about the Aussie dollar earlier this morning with the GDP release, and it got stronger. Okay, we're rallying here to 76.67 and a nice rally from 75-ish level. It's almost 150 pips on the upside since earlier this week, but this hasn't carried the rest of the market with it, which is a little bit disconcerting. Okay, so this may falter and the market might retrace the Aussie dollar versus the dollar. Okay, as the other currencies have been very weak versus the dollar. If we come and jump into gold, not much has been doing earlier this week. Really didn't break this 1293 level yet, but I do have it on my radar. Okay, I still have it on my radar to see if we do break it, especially if the Dow Jones breaks above 25,000. We may get that. Okay, looking at oil here, and this was a beauty. Okay, if we looked at here, we saw it capitulate at $73 a barrel. Okay, sold off sharply last week or so, and then bounced off of our support level. Okay, breached the first support level, but bounced off of our 66.43. Okay, about mid-range to 68.45, and then broke the support level 67 and then 66 earlier this week and came into 64.61. What I like about this is that, again, it's trading with support and resistance. I mean, bounced off of 64.61 as you can see here, and we're right now at 65.89. I do think we'll, somewhere around this range will settle and be trading in a range for a little bit until, there's a direction either upwards or downwards, okay? But I do think that we're going to be trading within the range. If we look at a weekly chart, this is, besides this previous time, this is the largest retracement we've had since we've, took up from $28 a barrel. Okay, so important to note here. And, as these things are selling off more sharply and rallying more sharply, it becomes a little bit of a toss-up between, the two sides. So just, respect it, understand that, we are trading within, we're going to probably be trading within a range, and just, be aware of it and be ready for it. Looking at the Dow Jones here, breaking up to the outside, 24,900-ish level, 889-ish. Okay, so we're only about 100 points away, okay, from our 25,000. Okay, looking at this area, beautiful retracement to 24,200-ish level. We spoke about this the other day, but like it's just grinding up higher. Okay, and it's like, being dragged by its feet higher. And that is because I think that the stocks are going up higher before that the index is going higher. And as such, sometimes you got to just play catch up, okay? And that's exactly what happens with the market. So I'd like to see this finally break above 25,000 and sustain it. If we do, then we could definitely go up to 25,300-ish level for sure, okay, as this is continued. But just be aware, we are summer trading, so, hasn't gone into full effect, but just be aware of it, as we've been trading in this area, but need to break out with some volume, with some momentum, on the upside. If we look for the DAX, we kind of are having, that plug and chug or that pull from both sides, okay, both on the downside and the upside. You're up 200 points, you're down 200 points, from 12,829, we retraced down to 12,641, and then back to 12,829. So it's a pull. It's the bears versus the bulls, and somebody just wants direction here. Okay, so with that said, I think as long as we'll break in either direction, I think we'll finally get that. Now, if we jump to Amazon and Facebook, still on the top highs. Okay, it's still very strong. If we're looking into an intraday, just pulling out higher. Okay, you can't get better than that. Okay, just buy the pullback and hold, and this is why, you should have more than one type of instrument to be trading, because, situations like this, why should I waste my time with gold when, something like Amazon is just trading upwards? Just buy and hold it at almost 1700. That's a huge move. Okay, looking at Facebook as well. Excuse me, $192, on the upside, and really flirting with breakout here. Okay, so that's really on my radar today, and I think could be a really great play. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.